So, it's been a bit of a while since my last update. 3 months in fact. The last video that I put up, I was traveling to Mae Sai to do my visa run, and I've just got back from Mae Sai again to cross the border and activate the final leg of my 3-part multi-entrance visa, which means that I've now been in Thailand for 6 months and I've only got 3 months left, which is crazy. It's gone so quickly. And I guess the main point that I want to get across is that 6 months in, the digital nomad experiment, leaving my life in Sheffield and moving to the other end of the world, has been just a huge success. There hasn't really been one day that I've looked back. I've obviously missed friends and family, but no, I haven't looked back, and I certainly don't want to move back, and I'm not going to. But I'll cover that point later. More to the point, I wanted to discuss what I've been doing over the last couple of months. It's been really busy, and in fact, when I was sitting down noting all the stuff that I have done, I was pretty blown away by everything that's happened. Very soon after coming back from Burma the first time, I started dating a girl, and we've been spending a fair amount of time together over the last few months. My girlfriend now, essentially, and if I'm perfectly honest, I'm very happy. Both of us work online, so we do have a fair amount of freedom and spare time, and we've been spending the last couple of months doing a lot of, well, I wouldn't want to say traveling, but more holidaying. So our first trip together was to Bangkok for New Year, which was absolutely amazing. For any of you who've seen my previous videos in Bangkok, I was not a fan. But the reason for that was that I spent most of the time in Khao San Road, which is backpacker central really of Southeast Asia. And personally, that's the worst place in the world for me. And yeah, I didn't like Bangkok at all. But this time, in New Year, going with Thai people, I had a totally different experience. The places that we went to, the people that we saw, the activities that we did was just incredible. The next trip we went to was to Pai, or as it's actually called, Pai. Is a little town really, although it is growing since the last time I went there 7 years ago, up in the very north of Thailand, and it's quite a well-known travel spot for tourists and backpackers in Thailand. Well known for being a bit of a hippie town, quite lazy, very much a beach town vibe, even though it is totally landlocked and hundreds of miles away from the sea. But really great place, great people. We booked a little villa that had an outdoor bath with a hot spa. It was really cool. The only thing that I would say about Pai over the January period was it was cold, bloody cold, much more colder than I thought any area of Thailand could have been. But yeah, I must have become quite acclimatized to the heat, because I was freezing. And it's a well-known hippie area, and you know, the character of the people there is very different from Chiang Mai. A lot of people with long hair and dreadlocks and sitting outside playing guitars. No one seems to really work, but yeah, for a couple of days I really enjoyed it. So after our trip to Pai, I went to Lampu, which is an area, which is a province not too far away from Chiang Mai, maybe an hour and a half's drive, to go and visit some hill tribe manufacturers, which is helping me with my new business, a ethical clothing range. They grow organic cotton and organic dyes, and then in the same village turn these raw ingredients into just amazing organic cotton textiles. And the reason why I went there was because I wanted to see the manufacture process of my clothes. Everything is done on this one small farm, from actually planting the cotton seeds and growing the natural dyes to harvesting that cotton and weaving it into amazing textiles, and then ultimately, you know, creating tailored clothes at the end. The business is relatively new at the moment. I do have some of my stock. The first batch of shirts and shoes have come through, but there is a lot more on the way. Although I haven't really had a chance to start marketing yet, but it will be. After that, my dad was in town, came to visit for 10 days. It was amazing to see family again. First time I'd really seen any for 6 months. You know, it was amazing showing him around the city, how it really has become home now. I think there was a couple of things that he took away from this. First of all, how cheap it is and how cheaply you can live over here. My cost of living now is probably down to about 20,000 baht a month, although I have been spending a little bit more on these holidays. The hotels I've been booking haven't been cheap ones, but you know, when you're making so much savings in the rest of the areas of your life, it is nice to be able to go and book into reasonably luxury resorts and hotels, just chill out for a bit. So I spent 10 days with my dad. Took him to Tap on top of the mountain, and spent the rest of the time really going to different food places, trying out different Thai dishes, and I set my dad and my stepmom up with a motorbike each, which just totally opened the city for them. And you know, the sense of freedom that they had was commented on a couple of times. And I think that the main things that they took away from that trip was how cheap it is, how good the lifestyle is here, and also, you know, why I am here and why I'm not going to leave. After my dad flew back to the UK, I had to go and do another visa run. It is a bit of a drive up to Mae Sai, so I decided to turn it into a little bit of a holiday again, and took my girlfriend up to Chiang Mai, which is about halfway between Chiang Mai and Burma. And we stayed again in a really nice resort, went to some great restaurants, beautiful scenery, and just relaxed again, I guess. So anyway, there's 3 months left in Thailand on this visa, and the plan going forward is to go back to the UK at the start of May, and I'm going to bring my girlfriend with me. We'll travel around England for a bit. I'm going to be in the UK for 7 weeks. She's coming for 4 weeks. We'll travel around London a little bit, go and stay with my parents in Sheffield, and then up to Scotland and Edinburgh. The main reason, of course, why I'm coming back to the UK is to see family and friends. It's been a long time and I do miss them, but another very important reason is to come back to the UK, come back to the Thai consulate in London, and apply for another visa. I have a flight back to Thailand in the end of June, and I'm going to start this whole process all over again. There's one thing that I'm certain of. It's I don't want to come back to England, and I'm not coming back to England. So as long as everything's fine with the visa, I will be in Chiang Mai for another year at least. So that is a very quick overview of what I've been doing over the last couple of months. Effectively, a lot of holidays. There's obviously been work that I've had to do, and business has been great. I've recently just hired a new employee who's just taking my business to the next level, allowing me to work on some of these other projects, like the ethical clothing range that I'm currently trying to build. And hopefully it's going to give me a bit more time to create these videos and finally finish that book, which again is pretty delayed. It's amazing how you can be so busy and so relaxed, all in the same place. Anyway, that's enough from me. More videos on the way.